Hey everyone, it's Sarah with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and in this video we're going to go over the question, can I be a nurse? I'm afraid of blood. This has been one of the top questions I have been asked on my website since I even started it, because a lot of people are afraid of blood and it makes them nauseous and it makes them squeamish. And whenever they think of being a nurse, they think of coming in contact with a lot of blood. So the quick and easy answer is yes, you can be a nurse even if you are afraid of blood. And I'm going to tell you how and show you some tips on how to overcome it. But first, let's talk about this. We all have our fears whenever it comes to going into nursing. My fears were vomit and needles going into the skin. Just thinking about someone hurling up food that's been in their stomach and just seeing it and even smelling it absolutely grossed me out. And then seeing this sharp needle going into the skin and penetrating it, just weirded me out. But I overcame it, and I'm really glad that I did not keep those fears from stopping me of becoming a nurse. So let's talk about this. There are many areas of nursing where you have little contact with blood. For instance, case managers, nurse managers, anyone who goes into like legal consulting, nursing informatics, and even as a bedside nurse in certain specialties. For instance, like whenever you work as a nurse, mainly when you become, like when you're working on the floor, mainly where you come in contact with blood is when you have to draw blood, or you're changing a dressing, you're messing with a wound vac that's draining blood, or you're inserting IVs. But there will be those occasional crazy things that happen, like if a patient starts throwing up blood, or you get a patient back from surgery and they start bleeding. You will have those occasions, but it's not like how the TV portrays it. You know, on like those ER fictional shows, it's like exaggerated. Unless you work in certain specialties where you know you're going to be coming in with blood. Like for instance, working in the OR or the ER, you're going to have in the ER emergencies coming in, you're going to see lots of blood, or OR, of course, it's surgery. So if you are really super squeamish about blood, I really recommend not going into those areas because you will be exposed to a lot of blood. And like I said, it's not, whenever you're working as a nurse, there's not a lot of squirting of blood everywhere and just huge piles of it, unless you have something crazy going on, which is random and can happen. But it's not like how the TV paints it. And so what are some tips of how you can overcome that fear of blood? What I recommend is that you desensitize yourself to it over time. How you can start is right now. You can get on YouTube and you can watch videos of blood, just looking at blood, looking at certain procedures, and just exposing yourself slowly to it. And next, I think this would really help, you can shadow a nurse or a phlebotomist. A phlebotomist is someone, all they do all day is go around drawing blood, so you're going to be seeing lots of blood. And then shadow a nurse of what specialty you would like to enter into. Say you would like to be a labor and delivery nurse, or you would like to be an ICU nurse. Try to shadow one of those nurses and see how much they come into contact with blood, and you may be surprised that that may not freak you out or scare you as much as you thought it would. So I really recommend that you do that. And next, remember at first, like for instance with my vomiting and the needle issues, whenever I first started out, I really did have to just take a deep breath and say, I can get through this, I can do this. But over time, I was just exposed to it so much, that became second nature to me. If I had a patient throwing up their toenails, I was like, oh yeah, I got this covered. But if I look back at myself whenever I was a new nurse, I was afraid. But over time, because you're going to be seeing it so much that really you're going to wonder, how was I even afraid of that? But whenever we first start out, we do have our fears, but it will become second nature. So those are some tips on how to overcome your fear of blood. Now, just for fun, I recommend that you go to my website, RegisteredNurseRN.com, and take the quiz that we made on, it'll ask you some questions and give you a response on if you'll be a good nurse or not. And that link should be popping up here in a second. So thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos, and have a great day.